So as you guys know, we're pretty big fans of the Seekins Precision lineup of rifles, and specifically the PH3. Today we're gonna give you a quick rundown on why we think the PH3 is one of the best values for the money and why it's got an absolutely crazy feature set that you're not gonna find in any other stock rifle platform on the market. So with the new PH3 action, there's a few really key things that you're going to be getting over the PH2 or a lot of other bolt actions on the market. Number one is going to be that you get a machined in 20 MOA rail. So you're no longer worried about screws backing out or having to Loctite things down. It's in there ready to go. It's not moving. One of the other key features is going to be the fact that now with this redesigned action, you can do quick change barrel swaps. So with that, you've got one T25 torque screw. You just pop that off, spin the barrel off, swap a different barrel on. And on top of that too, you're no longer just stuck with one single caliber. You can swap calibers interchangeably. And not only that, but the new 60-degree bolt throw bolt has a 3-lug design with interchangeable bolt heads. So let's say you have a 6.5 Creedmoor and you decide that you want to go to a 6.5 PRC with a Magnum bolt face. All you have to do is disassemble the bolt, pop the bolt face off, pop a new one on, and swap over to a 6.5 PRC. Likewise, if you want to go down in caliber, whether it's to a 223, a 300 blackout, or let's say even a 6 arc, or you want to spin up a custom 6.5 Grendel barrel, you can now do that with the PH3 action. So you're getting a ton of modularity that you're really, in my opinion, you're not getting from anybody else even close to the PH3 in the same price point. So one of the things on a lot of guns that really leaves a lot to be desired is typically going to be the stock. Whether it's on a Christensen, we'll even say Fierce, Tikka, Bergara, and a lot of guns where you get even above that $1,500 price point, a lot of times without going to a custom stock like a Manners, a Macmillan, or a Grayboe, there's features that you really want that are left desired. And with the PH3, that's not necessarily the case. So first off, you're going to be getting a full-length aluminum midi chassis that's going to support the entirety of the action. So with that, it's kind of like running a full-size aluminum chassis, but it's in more of a traditional stock. Then moving forward on that, one of the other key features that I think is probably the coolest thing on the PH3 stock is going to be the fact that you have a full-length M-LOK rail that rides underneath the entirety of the forend. So with that, whether you're putting a Picatinny rail on the end to attach a bipod, or you want a full-length Arca rail to be able to run tripods and bipods off of, you now have the ability to do that. In my mind, this is key because nobody else even close to this price point is doing anything like this. And then as far as adjustability goes on the PH3 stock, there's a lot of different options. So number one, you're going to be getting an adjustable cheek piece that's going to allow you to be able to move your cheek up and down so you can get behind the scope the exact same every time you come down onto the gun. Then the other big thing is going to be, this is coming soon by the way, Seekins is going to be doing adjustable length of pull spacers, which was a huge gripe that a lot of bigger shooters had with the PH2. I've never really had that issue, but a lot of people have, is that the stock, if you are a larger shooter, sometimes feels a little bit short, feels a little bit small, and they now offer spacers that are going to be hitting the market here pretty soon. They're now up on their website, and they should be shipping shortly. And then next is going to be the fact that you are getting QD flush cups on both sides of the forend. You've got one in the rear as well, and then you do, I believe, let me double check. You do have one underneath on that M-LOK rail section as well. So there's a bunch of different options for running slings. If you decide you want to run a standard swivel stud, the M-LOK rail section is threaded, so you can put a standard swivel stud on there and just run a standard Allen or Butler Creek sling if you're into that kind of thing. And so you've just got a lot of options. And I think that that's really one of the impressive things about the PH3 is going to be that it's a very modular system. And while there's not a whole lot of aftermarket for it yet, Seekins is coming out with more and more options. And I know that there are some other third-party companies that are going to be supporting both the PH3s, the Elements, and the Hits in some pretty awesome ways moving forward. So one of the key features with the PH2 that they didn't change, that wasn't broken, so they decided not to fix it, is going to be the bottom metal on it. And one of the biggest gripes that I hear from a lot of hunters with mag-fed systems is that they're usually really worried that they're going to be on a hunt, be 10 miles back in the backcountry, and they're going to drop their mag while they're out hiking. I know a lot of people that have done it. I personally have done it before, and it's a fear that a lot of hunters have. And with the bottom metal on the PH3s and the PH2s and the PH1s is going to be the fact that because it's integrated into that trigger guard and there's no way to actuate that mag release without actually having your finger in the trigger guard, you don't need to worry about snagging it on a branch, having a strap on your bag hit it, and then all of a sudden dropping your mag 10 miles back and you don't have a way to feed extra rounds into the gun when you're on an animal. So they didn't fix that with the PH3, and I'm glad that they didn't, because it's an awesome feature. So in the 6.5 PRCs in the short action, they're going to come with an extended overall length mag well. There's a little spacer in there that you can take out if you want to run AICS magazines instead of the carbon mags. But those carbon mags are going to allow you to load that bullet way further out, depending on if you reload and kind of what your style is. And the same thing goes for all their long action calibers, whether it's 7 PRC, 300 PRC, you name it. In the long action as well, they have their carbon mag that really allows you to seat that bullet out further and really extend the length of your cartridge, which is awesome. There's not really a whole lot of other companies that I can think of off the top of my head that are really allowing you to do that in a factory gun in this price point. And then out of the box, they're going to be coming with trigger type primary triggers, which in all honesty are the gold standard of triggers in a factory rifle, which is just awesome that they're doing that. If you jump into like the NRL model, like this one, this blue one I've got here in front of me, it is going to come with a trigger type diamond, or let's say you jump up into their Slam series, which is going to be their custom rifles coming out of their factory. Those are also going to ship with a trigger type diamond as well. And then the barrels on the PH3s are pretty much everything that you've come to love on both the PH1s and the PH2s as well. But now they're doing them in different barrel lengths as well. So in short action calibers, you can choose from either a 22-inch or a 24-inch length barrel in just about any caliber. And then moving on to the long action Magnum calibers, you can either run a 22-inch or a 26-inch depending on your flavor. I'm personally a little bit preferable on the 22 inches. That's what my 7 PRC is here. It makes it a lot easier to run a suppressor on there while hunting. And like I said, the barrels are everything you've come to know and love from Seekins. Spiral fluting, all of them are going to be 5/8 24 threads on the end of them. And like I mentioned earlier, they're quick change now. So you can buy an additional barrel in a different caliber, swap it onto there, and run kind of whatever you want, which makes it such an awesome modular platform. We get customers coming in all the time and asking us why Seekins, not even just the PH3 in general, but why the Element, why an SP10, why an SP15. And ultimately, the biggest reason is going to be they stand behind their products. Not only is their quality control absolutely mind-blowing, if there is a problem, they stand behind it. And I've at this point sold thousands of these rifles over the last 7-8 years, and there's only been a couple of them that have ever had issues. And when they have stood behind their products. And one of the cool things about them standing behind their products is that unlike most manufacturers where it's an MOA guarantee and it's just a baseline of if it shoots an inch, then sorry, like it is what it is. Seekins does a satisfaction guarantee, which is really cool that a company these days is so confident in their product that they're going to stand behind it no matter what. And that's what I love about Seekins. And while there honestly might be a little bit of bias because I'm pretty close friends with those guys, I really do think that they make an absolutely amazing product. And it's good enough of a product where I've gone out there and I've spent a lot of my hard-earned money on their various platforms. Whether it's their DMRs, whether it's this PH3 NRL, their SP10 large frame gas gun. It's a product that I'm willing to put my own money behind because I know that it's going to perform. I am such a fan of these guns, and I think that they're such an amazing value for the money that I really haven't built a custom gun in the last 4 or 5 years because I really struggle to feel like I'm getting a whole lot more value over something like the PH3 or the Element or a Slam. And so if you're in the market for whether it's a hunting rifle, an NRL gun, you want something to shoot PRS with like a hit, I would definitely make sure that you don't sleep on the Seekins M3 platforms because they are just amazing guns. The fit and finish is stunning, and they are shooters. And if you have any questions about the Seekins platforms, feel free to reach out to us here at Grand Teton Gun and Range. We're more than happy to answer your questions. We've got one of the largest selection of Seekins rifles in Idaho. At any given time, we've got PH3s, Elements, Element Hunters, Slams. We try to keep their gas guns in stock as much as possible. And we're here to answer questions about the platforms for you. If you ever need help finding one, sourcing one, come talk to us and we'll get you taken care of.